Welcome to Vishwa's Genius Hub. India's political history is filled with fascinating firsts, from Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the first president to Jawaharlal Nehru as the first prime minister. Leaders like Indira Gandhi and Sucheta Kripalani broke barriers, while Dr. Zakir Hussain became the first Muslim president. Let's explore these milestones that shaped our nation. Don't forget to subscribe to Vishwa's Genius Hub and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more amazing content. Who is the first finance minister of India? Answer is R.K. Shanmukham Chetty. Sir Ramasamy Kandasamy Shanmukham Chetty was an Indian lawyer, economist and politician who served as first finance minister of India from 1947 to 1948. Who is the first foreign secretary of India? Answer is K.P.S. Menon. Kumara Padmanabha Sivasankara Menon Sr. CIEICS, usually known as K.P.S. Menon, was a diplomat and diarist, a career member of the Indian Civil Service. He was appointed independent India's first foreign secretary, serving from 1948 to 1952. Who was the first Governor General of independent India? Answer is Lord Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten was a British statesman, Royal Navy officer, last Viceroy of India, and also served as the first Governor General of independent India from 1947 to 1948. Who was the first Home Minister of India? Answer is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was an Indian independence activist and statesman who served as the first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of India from 1947 to 1950. Who was the first Indian member of the Viceroy's Executive Council? Answer is S.P. Sinha. S.P. Sinha was a prominent British Indian lawyer and statesman. He was the first Governor of Bihar and Orissa, first Indian Advocate General of Bengal, first Indian to become a member of the Viceroy's Executive Council. Who was the first Indian Prime Minister who did not face the Parliament? Answer is Charan Singh. Chaudhry Charan Singh was an Indian politician, peasant leader and a freedom fighter who briefly served as the Prime Minister of India from July 1979 to August 1979. Who was the first Indian Prime Minister who resigned without completing the full term? Answer is Morarji Desai. Morarji Ranchoji Desai was an Indian politician and independence activist who served as the Prime Minister of India between 1977 and 1979. Leading the government formed by the Janata Party. Who was the first Lok Sabha member with the highest number of votes? Answer is P. V. Narasimha Rao. Pamulaparthi Venkata Narasimha Rao was an Indian lawyer, statesman and politician from the Congress Party who served as the Prime Minister of India from 1991 to 1996. Who was the first Minister of Information and Broadcasting? Answer is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was an Indian independence activist and statesman who served as the first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of India from 1947 to 1950. Who was the first Muslim President of India? Answer is Zakir Hussain. Zakir Hussain Khan was an Indian educationist and politician who served as the Vice President of India from 1962 to 1967 and President of India from 1967 to 1969. Who was the first Muslim President of the Indian National Congress? Answer is Badruddin Tyabji. Badruddin Tyabji was an Indian lawyer, activist and politician during the British Raj. Tyabji was the first Indian to practice as a barrister of the High Court of Bombay. He also served as the third president of the Indian National Congress from 1887 to 1888. Who was the first person to resign from the Central Cabinet? Answer is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Mukherjee resigned along with K.C. Neoji from the cabinet on the 8th of April 1950 over a disagreement about the 1950 Delhi Pact with Pakistani Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan. Who was the first president of Indian National Congress? Answer is W.C. Banerjee. W.C. Banerjee was the first president of the Indian National Congress, presiding over its inaugural session in 1885 in Bombay. He served as president again in 1892 during the session held in Allahabad. Who was the first Speaker of Lok Sabha? Answer is Ganesh Vasudev Mavalankar. Ganesh Vasudev Mavalankar, popularly known as Dada Saheb, was an Indian politician and independence activist who served as the President from 1946 to 1947 of the Central Legislative Assembly, then Speaker of the Constituent Assembly of India, and later the first Speaker of the Lok Sabha from 1952 to 1956. Who was the first woman Speaker of a State Assembly? Answer is Sanno Devi. Shanno Devi was an Indian politician who was the first woman Speaker of a State Assembly in India from 1966 to 1967. Who was the first woman President of the United Nations General Assembly? Answer is Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit was the first woman to serve as President of the United Nations General Assembly. She held the position from 1953 to 1954. Who was the first woman President of the Indian National Congress? Answer is Mrs. Annie Besant. Annie Besant was a British socialist, theosophist, Freemason, women's rights and home rule activist, educationist and campaigner for Indian nationalism. She became the first female president of the Indian National Congress in 1917. Who was the first Viceroy of India? Answer is Lord Canning. Lord Canning was a British politician and Governor-General of India during the Indian Rebellion and the first Viceroy of India from 1858 to 1862. Who was the first Health Minister of India? Answer is Rajkumari Amrit Kaur. Rajkumari Amrit Kaur was an Indian activist and politician and served as first Health Minister of India from 1947 to 1957. Who was the first transgender mayor of India? Answer is Madhubai Kinar. Madhubai Kinar is the mayor of Raigarh in Chhattisgarh, India. Running as an independent candidate, Madhu won the mayor election of the Raigarh Municipal Corporation in 2015. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and also hit the bell icon for more updates.